Meteorologist Kevin McKinley, clouds and maybe a flurry through the middle of the day, some breaks in the clouds through the afternoon. We'll see a high in the middle to upper 30s. Partly cloudy for tonight with a low of 15 to 20 degrees. Coming up in about 15 minutes or so, we'll check our full forecast. It's 25 minutes before 10 o'clock here on the WRVO stations. With the new remastered film, The Wizard of Oz, back on the big screen, local commentator Larry Cohen reminds us of some famous lines from the 60-year-old film classic.
"You don't need a brain, you just need a diploma," said the wizard to the scarecrow. Modern educators must have really taken that line to heart, since over the last 60 years they have made the diploma, not the education, the holy grail of higher learning. I view this as a large part of the problem in higher education today. Like the fable of the king who granted everyone in his country a diploma so he could have the best educated country in the world, educators have devalued all of the degrees they have awarded and continue to award on a come-one, come-all basis. The quintessential example of this came in a junk email advertisement recently. Read the message: "Increase your personal prestige and money earning power through an advanced university degree. Degree granted based on your present knowledge and experience. No further effort necessary on your part." Wow, what a deal. Some university somewhere is willing to grant a degree on what the student already knows. This sounds almost criminal, but how much are we actually teaching students, and how much must they actually know to receive a bachelor's degree these days? There is much more to a so-called good liberal arts education than knowing that Shakespeare wasn't a painter and Van Gogh wasn't a writer. This is all reminiscent of the answer that the famous pre-modern baseball player Satchel Paige once gave when asked how old he was. Said Paige to the reporter, "How old would you be if you didn't know how old you was?" Today, educators would simply ask, "How smart would you be if you didn't know how smart you was?" In my view, many of the undergraduate degrees that are awarded today are watered-down versions of what was offered only a decade ago, and are a little more than what a high school education was worth a generation ago. The standards have become lower and lower. Professors know it more than anyone, that the word on the quad is pass 'em often and pass 'em early. Any professor who continually fails unqualified students is warned or replaced. Many an administrator know that the real mission of the college is to award degrees. That is what the students are paying for. If anyone thinks otherwise, then why do employers routinely pitch out resumes by the basketful each day of persons who hold higher degrees in areas such as economics, sociology, mathematics, and the languages? While we do have the most educated country in the world, let's keep it that way by keeping the standards where they are at this point before we start to believe that the Wizard of Oz was right.
Larry Cohen lives and writes in New York's Mohawk Valley.
Ding dong, the witch's there, witch, oh witch, a wicked witch. Ding dong, the wicked witch is there. Wake up, you sleepy head, wrap your eyes, get out of bed. Wake up, the wicked witch is there. She knows where the goblins go, below, below, below your hole. Wake up and sing, and ring the bell down, ding dong, the merry o. Sing it high, sing it low, let them know the wicked witch is there.
Now in our 30th year of service, it's the WRVO stations, your 24-hour source for NPR News.
This is NPR's Morning Edition. I'm Bob Edwards. Several thousand Gwich'in Indians